All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome for joining me. We're going to get started today. I do have a little bit of an agenda. Hi, Capri. Thanks for joining us. I am getting a little bit of an echo, so let me just get rid of that. Okay. So the agenda we have for today is I'm going to talk about R versus Python for a little bit because I had somebody pilot the challenge, so they went through and they did it, who didn't have a lot of background, and they were sort of like, which one should I pick? Which one's better? What's the difference? So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then we're going to go through and complete the data challenge in R, and then we're going to go back through and do it again in Python. So you can see I have the email in the browser version that you guys got here. Hopefully you all got this email. And we're going to go through and do all these steps together. So R versus Python. Full disclosure, I am a big fan of R. I'm really involved in the R community. It's the language that I will use for most of the things that I do day to day. I also use Python pretty often, especially for NLP stuff. My own background is in linguistics and natural language processing. And the difference between them is I like to think of Python as a Swiss Army knife. So it can do pretty much anything you want it to, but not necessarily as well as some other tools might. And R is a chef's knife, so it's really good at what it's designed for, which is statistics and data visualization. But you wouldn't want to do like, I don't know, I don't know of anybody who builds like production software in R. So if you're really interested in data analysis, then I would recommend starting with R, especially since a lot of the Python libraries that people use for data analysis are actually sort of based on R. So they're sort of an implementation of the R code within a Python wrapper. But Python is, I think more popular as a language overall. Hi, Haps. Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to go through in R first, and then we're going to do Python. Again, you can do either for this challenge. Yeah, and feel free to chime in with any questions. That's sort of the difference between them. As a learner, I started with R. I liked starting with R. Lots of people start with Python. They like starting with Python. And if you do a lot of data science and you're in the space, chances are you're going to end up using both. So I guess pick the one you want to learn first. All right, so we're going to go through and we're going to do the challenge. Very exciting. So today we're just going to be, well, I shouldn't say just. If you're starting from zero, this is a lot of steps. So we're going to be reading data into a kernel and then summarizing it. So a kernel, for those of you who are not familiar, are, just going to think for a second. I did this in the morning because I figured there'd be a little bit less load on the internet and things would be a little bit faster. So a kernel is either a script or a notebook, and these are ways of sharing code. And on Kaggle specifically, they are interactive. So someone can, let's look at, this one by Anathropic is really good. Also, you can also use Plotly in R as well. So a lot of these tools are available in both languages. So it's a way of sharing code and analysis, and then the whole thing is run on Kaggle, so you don't have to download anything. And it's actually in a Docker, if you know what that is. So you can see there's some text here, so they're describing what they're doing, and then if we scroll down, oh no, I think I'm asking too much of my internet right now. There we go. And if we, there we go. If we scroll down, you can also see that they have their code here and then the output of the code all in sort of one contained little package. So we're going to start by finding a data set that has a CSV file in it, a comma separated vowels. Yeah, it looks like it's cutting in and out a little bit. Let me think. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I could do that might help with that. that might help. Actually, and we can get rid of the agenda now that I've told you what we're doing. Don't save. No, I'm getting some problems on my end as well, Peter. So yeah, hopefully it'll stabilize, and the things that I did just helped. All right, so we are going to just want to keep an eye on the time. Start by finding a data set that has a comma separated value in it, and I actually whoop, there it goes again. Put together a list of them here. If this is going to be a problem, I might end up rebooting, because I'm keeping an eye on it, and it looks like it's cutting in and out. All right, it's good. It's good for now. Okay. So this is a list of data sets that I just went through and picked that are sort of good for beginners. I think because they're sort of like fun topics, and they all have CSVs, and they should be pretty clean. And if you have trouble with any of these data sets, let me know, and I will just take them off the list. And it doesn't matter today which one you pick, so let's pick this Groundhog Day one. And it's loading. You can use which. So it looks like the data set, the stream is quite a bit behind where I am. And I'm going to sort of go back and forth with the chat, but there's going to be a little bit of lag for when I say it. Data set you like. I'll be using the ground. Oh, the volume's not good. Let me turn up the gain. Is that better? All right. Oh, that is quite loud. Hopefully that's not peeking out for anybody. All right, so I'm going to use the Groundhog Day data set. You're welcome to use whichever data set you like. And we're going to start a new kernel by hitting the new kernel button. And I would recommend using a notebook to get started rather than a script. You can use a script if you like, but notebooks are nice because you can leave yourselves little notes. And we're going to get started in Python as soon as it's done starting. Nope, we're going to get started in R. And let's give it a good title like 5-Day Data Challenge Day 1. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste that because I never spell challenge right on the first try. Hi, Galva. All right. And then I'm going to put it R in parentheses. Yeah, I don't know what I can do about the buffering issues, but I can turn the gain up a little bit more. All right, let me know if that's better, Padma. Yeah, I don't know what to do about the buffering issues. This is really unfortunate. I'm just replying to Padma now. Have reached that point in the video. Not sure how to help with the buffering issues. I thought doing it in the morning would be better because there'd be less load on the internet, but maybe there isn't. Well, we'll see. Okay. So when you start a kernel, in our kernel, there are some suggested things that you use. And I'm actually going to delete all of this. And we're going to read in a library. And we're going to read in the library tidyverse. So this is a meta package, which means it's a package of other packages. Tidyverse. And then to run this cell, we can just hit the play button in that cell, and it'll think for a second, and then you'll see all this nonsense. So you can see it's actually reading in a lot of packages. It's reading in ggplot2, Tibble, which is a type of data structure, tidyr, and you don't need to know about all these things. Just know that when you load in this library, it's giving you a lot of additional tools. So, and let's leave ourselves a little comment. Yeah, it should be up later. Thank you, Peter. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Excellent. We've reached the part in the video where I turned up the volume. Load in the tidyverse library. So that was thing 4. We're all the way down to 4. And now we're going to go to step 5, which is to read in the CSV. So I'm actually going to do this in a new cell. So I've created a new cell by clicking in the cell that I'm in, and this button will insert a cell below. This button will insert a cell above. This one, if it's toggled to code, I can type code in here and execute it. If it's toggled to markdown, I can type in text using the markdown format. But I do want this to be code. And here we're going to read in a CSV. And I'm actually going to use read_CSV. Read.csv is a base R function. This one is from the tidyverse package that we loaded in. You can use either. And we are going to, in quotes, because this is a string, put in the file path to the file that we want. So the file path we want is ... which means one up from the current directory, because we're currently in the notebook directory, and then /. So we're going to go into a different file that's one up from where we are. And what I've done here is I've hit tab, and it's told me all the ways that I can finish this input. And I'm going to select input, and then I've hit tab again, and there's only one file in here, so it's auto-completed it because there's only one way to complete the string. So this will read in the CSV archive.csv, and we can see what's going to be in there if we go up to the input files and we hit on archive. We can see a little bit of a preview of what's in this CSV. So it's got